Welcome back, friends. Zach here, full-time reseller, and I'm sitting right outside my local Goodwill just waiting for it to open up so I can hopefully spend some dead presidents on some items to buy to resell online for profit, because that's what I do. That's how I make my bread. That's how I support my family. And as strange as that sounds, I learned how to do it on YouTube, watching people like me who are also resellers. And so hopefully this video inspires someone out there to do the same. But I'm not sure how good it's going to be today. I'm going to go in here with a lot of optimism and hope for the best. So let's do this thing. All right, Monday morning, just going to race through hard goods, see if this place got picked over the weekend. Fate would have it, I jumped into this Travis Matthews zip-up jacket. It's lightweight. It does have some Ed Jones embroidery, but the price is there. And this bad boy is new with tags. So the embroidery I'll take from it, but it's also a very big size, which helps, and it's new. So for $6 gonna grab it. I don't buy these, but this is pearl snap, and it's not a great size. It's small, but it's a decent color. It's in great condition. It's actually only $4 and some change, which normally they have these priced at $6 or above. They don't sell quick, but it's just a nice shirt, and because it's pearl snap, I'm gonna fast burn through all these polos for you. These are 511 tactical ripstop cargo pants. They're 30 by 32. They're a little beat up, but they're only $5.19, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. Typically, I sell these ripstop ones for anywhere from $15 to $20. I do pretty good on the Wrangler retro slim thick stitch jeans. These are $6 and some change. They got the longer inseam. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. Prana hiking pants are more like a canvas material. They're 32 by 34, and they are also in the sweet spot for thrift store prices on pants. And then I found these Wrangler relaxed boot thick stitch jeans. They do have a little bit of a hole, so I don't know if I'll pick this pair, but I've sold this pair before and they're a good size. Price is there. Just gonna have to think on this pair. In the men's section, I came across 2 pair of BKE Peyton jeans, but these are women's and they're only $6.19. And then these buckle black jeans are also women's. They're priced up at $8.19, but I'm gonna go ahead and scoop all 3 up just because price is there. BKE jeans do better in men's, but they still sell pretty decent in women's. These are in good shape and decent price for my thrift store. These are Area M5 slim straight thick stitch jeans. These are definitely priced up and they have a few little abrasions on them, but I'm still gonna pick them up because this is a bread and butter brand for me. Simply just a North Face flash dry crew neck t-shirt. It's only $5 and some change, but it's a good size. It's in good shape, and I think I could probably get $18 to $22 for this. All right, just trolling the kids section for dress shirts or maybe some decent jeans or decent hoodies. I'm not seeing much of that though today. So always inspect your clothing upon finding it, but always look it over one more time before you pay for it. I was just about to buy these Ariat jeans, and there's a hole in the seat, and nothing will kill a sale more than a hole in the seat of a pants. Came over here to finish out looking in the closed up and locked case, but found this Marmot mini skirt, kind of like an outdoor inspired camping, hiking look to it, and Marmot sells good for me, especially their outerwear, their hiking shorts, pants, things like that. So I'm gonna scoop it. It's $5. Well, pleasantly surprised with what I did come up with at my local Goodwill, and while I can't say I came up with anything that's super great, and I'm not super excited to be buying a lot of jeans, when the price is there, you gotta grab them. Jeans sell for me year round, and while they do sell better in the fall and winter months, I constantly am selling jeans and pants, so don't sleep on them, especially for the right price. Most pants in my local Goodwill are generally priced at $10 and above, so to find a bunch of good brands for $6 and some change was great. And then to find the Travis Matthew zip-up jacket with tags for the price I paid for it was also great. So happy with that. Got out of there for about $40. Still paying up, still paying thrift store prices. And while I did do some garage sales this past weekend, I just didn't get into the numbers I had hoped for, and I had a hard time shooting content. I just wasn't really coming across any really great deals, and I failed to capture some of the barters, some of the haggles, some of the deals I did make on camera, and that's all right. It's just the start of the season. Filming content at garage sales is a little more tricky than at thrift stores, but nonetheless, I am still going to go hit a few of the local thrift stores that are smaller in my area. It is very hard to say if I'll find anything, but I do have somewhat of a death pile started now, and I'm grateful for that. So keep following along. If you've made it this far, please hit that like button. I appreciate you tremendously. Moseyed over here to a smaller thrift store that's just right down the street from the Goodwill. I don't buy a whole heck of a lot at this establishment, but it's always worth checking out. The one beauty is that the ladies that operate this establishment are willing to make some deals with me, which is quite different than most thrift stores. And if you get an opportunity to do that, or you feel comfortable with maybe making an offer on something, especially if you frequent a place constantly, I think it's a good idea to not way undershoot the cost of what you're trying to get. And if you can establish that there's the ability to barter at any thrift store, always start out gently and then move from there towards better deals. But I'm gonna go ahead and dance around in here for about 10-15 minutes and then get the heck out of Dodge. And then I'm gonna make my way over to the Friends and Family thrift store, which is very near my house, see some of my good friends over there and Pastor Ken, who runs the establishment. I am not a member of that church, but I've become very dear friends with everyone who works over there. And it is Monday, which is a good day to check out what they've had dropped off over the weekend. So let's do this darn thing. So right off the bat, just looking at the women's shoe section, these are Birkenstocks, definitely beat up, but they're only $3. These are Chacos. They're a little beat up too, but they're also $3. So I'll probably be grabbing both these pairs of shoes. I hate selling beat up shoes, but I also know that shoes make up a good part of my income. And so I'll be grabbing these today. So smaller clothing section at this thrift store. And again, I don't find a lot, but when I do find something in the shirt section, it's generally pretty affordable. So I'm just gonna burn through these racks and get the heck out of here. All right, so this is a really great find. I wish these were in a little bit better condition, and I really hate to have to clean them, but these Solomon hiking boots are Gore-Tex. They're only $10. I sold a similar exact pair just like these for like $150 a while back. They were in better condition. They sold very quickly, and it was in the winter. But I'm gonna go ahead and scoop these up, set them to the side, probably clean them somewhere down the road when it starts to get a little bit colder. We're stoked. I hate buying shoes, but when I can get a great deal on them, I don't mind so much, especially if I have to clean them. So pick both these up, and these were $3 a piece. I'm good with that. That's right around garage sale prices for what I'd pay for those types of shoes. But these bad boys here, these Solomon Quest 4D Gore-Tex men's boots, these will generally sell in this condition for about $60 to $80, and I have sold them for more when they were in better shape. But these bad boys here I picked up for $5. So I'm not sure why the associate didn't charge me a full 10. There may have been some type of sale going on today, or maybe she got confused, I don't know, but I'm super stoked about that. So yeah, good start to a Monday. Got a little bit of time to burn as I'm driving back towards my house and to my last sourcing stop of the day, but I wanted to share with you, the viewing audience, a few things I like to do this time of year when sales can be kind of slow or maybe up and down. And so these are just tips that I've learned from other more successful resellers here on YouTube. And so the first one is to always try to list daily, even if it's just a couple items. I myself try to list a minimum of 5 items, if not more, if I have the death pile to support it. But I also have to pace myself so I know that I have at least 5 items for every day of the week. And that can sometimes be hard, as I keep preaching, in the later months of winter when it's hard to find things. For me, in a small rural area, I often run out. And so it can be a struggle for about 3 to 4 months of the year for me to have those adequate numbers, but that is part of my metric. Another little tip is to always try to do some price drops daily, and that might only be on 5 to 10 items. That price drop might be marginal, and the way I like to try to do it is some days I might go to the highest price item and drop the prices on some of those things. I might go to items that are ending soonest, that are kind of older, or I might just go to items that have the most views and drop some prices there. And I do notice that when I do that, I get more applicable offer opportunities. And so if you're doing that regularly, it will just help to promote the algorithm to see you're working at it and that you're trying to promote more business for your store. And then the third and final thing that I try to do when things are really slow is I'll simply just end items that are slow moving, items that don't have many watchers, many viewers, or items that have just been listed for a really long time. And what I'll often do is I will actually write those off and put them down as damaged or donated. And as I do that, the way I calculate it is that I can still get credit for my cost of goods, even though the item didn't sell. And so a lot of that has to do with your accounting. And I use my reseller Genie to help tabulate a lot of those amounts, a lot of those expenses, and a lot of those different deductions and write-offs. So if you're not using anything to calculate or keep track, I strongly suggest you think about my reseller Genie. But I wanted to share those 3 tips with you. Those are very commonly known tips, but we are in quarter 2, and quarter 2 isn't like quarter 4. The sales are decent right now for me. Hopefully the sales for you are going good, but a lot of that's just dependent on the quality of what you're selling. Are you selling items that are seasonal, especially if you're a clothing seller? A lot of what I keep finding is winter items, so I keep stashing a lot of those items. I have, however, been listing my denim pants still, and I'm selling jeans, as I said earlier. So you just gotta find what works for you. You always gotta be thinking about what season it is, especially if you're a clothing reseller, and you always gotta buy in at a low cost. So I hope all those things help you. I'm just a reseller in my sophomore season, but I've learned a lot from studying the game, from listening to other more successful resellers like me online, and I hope that helps you. All right, right outside my favorite thrift store, the one right down the road from my house where I know everybody knows my name. Hopefully we'll do good in here. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I come in here all the time. I'm not gonna spend too much time, just gonna kind of briefly look over many of the aisles, go talk to my people in the back, look over the fresh stuff they've just cleaned, and go from there. Buy this shirt, but I always love this time of year. It reminds me of being an American. I love summer. I love the warm weather, working outside, and I love the 4th of July. So if you see any 4th of July pieces that are a good brand for a good price, pick them up because you can sell them around the upcoming holiday. Kids section now, not seeing too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and skin out. Well, no finds in the local thrift store, but that's all right. I got to see a few people I really love, give them some hugs and talk about the weekend. And so I'm gonna go ahead and wind this thing down. All in all, not a bad day for local thrifting. Only been out about an hour and a half right now and hit 3 stores and came up with some pretty decent goods to get me by for the next day. So as always, if you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or please subscribe.